Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. We're going to get on our mat and do a Pilates inspired mat workout, no equipment required. Let's get started. So get comfortable on your mat, choose a seated position. You could sit cross-legged or legs out in front, any other position. We're just going to take a few full breaths as we arrive here on the mat, getting ourselves ready for the workout. Thinking about filling the lungs up fully and exhaling out all the air. And as you're tuning into your breath, just a reminder that this is your workout, so take breaks as needed, modify exercises, never work through any pain. And let's start just to rock side to side. So just a gentle seated rock side to side. The first few exercises, we're just getting warmed up. So go easy on yourself. Come back to center, and then we'll do some waist circles. So start by leaning forward and then over to one side, circle back and around. And just keep circling your upper body. We're keeping the hips, the sit bones down on the mat or on your cushion. And next time you come forward, pause and then go in the other direction. Still tuning into your breath. And you could do one more circle. Nice work. Come to center, sit up nice and tall. And take a moment to think about core engagement. So thinking about lower abdominal muscles scooping in and up, pulling the navel towards the spine just slightly, and at the same time, a nice tall spine lifting the chest. We could roll the shoulders back and down, and then keeping that nice tall spine, core engaged. Let's take the right leg and extend it at an angle out to the side. And then put same side hand on your leg. Other arm reach to the ceiling. Start with an in breath here. And as you exhale, let's just side bend over that extended leg. Just let your hand on the leg slide down. Other arm reaching overhead. And again, we're getting warmed up here. So you're not trying to get to any distance, just whatever feels like a nice starting out stretch. And on your next inhale, sit up tall, back to starting position, arm reaching to the ceiling. Exhale, come over the leg. Inhale, sit up tall. Keep going like this. Follow your breath. We'll do two more on this side. Sitting up tall, and we'll switch sides, bring that arm down, switch the legs around, left leg coming out at an angle, left hand on your extended leg, opposite arm to the ceiling. Start with that inhale, and as you exhale, just reaching over that leg, letting the fingertips slide down the extended leg, following breath. We'll do two more. Coming back up to center, bring the arms down. And we'll go ahead and make our way to hands and knees. So if you are sitting up on a cushion, you can move that off to the side. Making our way to our hands and knees or tabletop position. So our fingers are going to be spread wide. So we have a nice wide base of support. Wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips, and then the back is neutral with the head in line with the spine. Belly's engaged, so we have that core engagement. We're going to take the bent right knee and lift it out to the side, and then lower it down just to hover above the mat. And lift and lower. And keep going like that, just lifting and lowering that right leg out to the side. As we're doing that, doing our best to keep the torso centered between the hands. So there's movement at that right hip and the rest of the body stabilizing. Next time you lift the leg up, pause here, keep the leg lifted. We're going to extend the leg out to the side and then bend the knee, and then keep going like this. Extend and bend with that lifted leg, and you're breathing. Next time you extend the leg, pause, and we're going to lower and lift. Just tap the toes down and lift the leg. And don't worry if your range of motion is maybe small to start. You can come back to this workout, and over time you'll notice your own improvements, and we're all different. Next time you lift the leg, pause, bend the knee and bring it towards your elbow, and then push out to the side. You could have your foot flexed. You can imagine as you're pushing out to the side, you're pushing something heavy away from you. Nice strong leg. You're breathing, and we'll do 2 more. Great work. Take that extended leg, bring it behind you, straight out behind you. Bring your toes down, and we'll do a stretch here. So toes are down, and just allowing the heel to move away for a gentle stretch into your calf muscles, into the bottom of the foot. Couple breaths. And then bring your knee down. And before we go to the other side, just bring yourself all the way up into kneeling. You can shake out your arms. You could roll the shoulders, circle your wrists, any moves that feel good just to regroup between sides. I'm going to turn the other way so you can see what I'm doing with my working leg. We're coming back to tabletop. Now it's the left leg, bent knees lifting and lowering out to the side. Next time you lift that leg out to the side, pause, extend your leg and bend. Extend and bend at the knee, keeping the leg lifted. Again, doing our best to keep our upper body centered between the hands. Next time you extend the leg, pause, lower and lift. Toes come down and lift. Strengthening all around the hip muscles, the glute muscles, so important. And next time we lift the leg, keep it lifted, bend your knee towards your elbow and out to the side. Foot is flexed. Feeling that muscular engagement all the way up the legs. Let's do 1 more here, and then bring that extended leg straight out behind you, land on your toes, and go into your stretch for a couple breaths. Great work. Bring your knee down, and let's come into boat position. So we're going to be coming into seated position with knees bent, feet on the mat. Your legs are parallel to each other. So let's just start with hands under our knees so we can set up the position, pulling the belly button towards the spine slightly so we feel core engaged, chest is lifted, shoulders back and down, and then go ahead and reach your arms forward with palms facing towards each other. From here, we're going to go into a half roll down. So start to tuck the tailbone under. Allow your back to round, chin can come towards the chest. Pause here in your half roll down. Lift the right foot to hover, lift the left foot to hover. Right foot comes back down, left foot comes back down. And then lift your upper body all the way up. Nice tall spine. And here we go again. Half roll down, back round. As we come down, pause. This time start with left foot lift. Right foot lift, left down and right down, and then lift yourself up, stack your spine nice and tall. And half roll down, start with your right foot, right, left, down, down, lift up, tall spine. Half roll down, start with left foot, lift, lift, down, down, come up. And we'll do 2 more rounds. Go ahead. And if you get mixed up on your feet, not to worry. We're really working the core here. Lifting up, nice work. And keeping your legs as they are, we'll come back onto our forearms. Just lower yourself down onto your forearms, checking that you have the abdominal muscles engaged. And then go ahead and lift your feet. We're going to come into Pilates foot position. So we're going to have heels touching, toes apart, so that your feet make a V. So feet are going to stay active in this position. Pull your heels a little closer towards your chest as your knees go out wide. And then straighten your legs away from you as your legs zip together. And pull the heels towards your chest, knees wide, and zip the legs together, legs extend. And keep going like this. And the whole time we have our feet in that Pilates feet position. So flexed at the ankles, heels pushing together, toes apart, activating all the way up the legs. Let's go 3 more. Last one. You can bring the knees in, and then with control, lowering the feet, lift yourself up. Making our way back to hands and knees. Just making sure that the back is in a neutral position. And again, the head is in line with the spine. So we're not dropping our head. We're not arching at the neck. We're just everything in line. From here, with core engaged, we're going to extend the right leg straight out behind us. Lift it up at about hip height. And then the left arm is going to reach forward. Modification, you can always keep the hand down. From here, we're going to lower the leg and the arm at the same time and touch down toes and fingers. And lift. And lower. And lift. And keep going like this. We're just lowering the leg and the arm at the same time, just lightly tapping down toes and fingers. Strengthening back of the body. We'll do 2 more. And then next time you lift the arm and leg, pause here. Let's stay here, just breathe, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring your hand down and your knee down. In between sides, you could do some cat-cow stretches to your spine, arching the spine up to the ceiling, and then letting the belly drop as the chest comes forward. Exhale as you arch. Inhale as you look forward. Maybe 1 more round each way. And then coming back to neutral spine, left leg out behind you, right arm coming forward. And again, we're going to lower and lift the arm and leg. Generally in Pilates, we move slowly with control. Relying on our muscles to do the work. 2 more. And next time arm and leg are lifted, we'll hold here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hand down and knee down. Let's bring our hands forward. Step the hands forward. Big step forward with the hands. We're going to do a puppy pose stretch. So from here, you can start to let your upper body fall between the extended arms. Let your head come down any amount. You could come partially toward the mat. Maybe your forehead comes all the way to the mat. Just make sure it's comfortable for your shoulders, your back, your neck. And then we'll just stay for a couple breaths, stretching it out. When you're ready, lift up and swing your feet forward. We're going to make our way onto our back. So you can start with knees bent, reach your arms forward, and start to roll down on your back. Use your hands as needed. And then you could bring your hands onto your rib cage, take a couple big breaths. Feel the rib cage expand and soften with your breath. And bring your arms alongside your body. We're doing a classic Pilates exercise. We're going to do hundreds. So I'm going to guide you to do it in an upper body curl, but you can also keep your head down. You could bring one hand lightly behind your head, or if you get partway through the exercise and it's not feeling great on your neck, just go ahead and put your head down. Just be kind to your neck. So we start by checking in with that core engagement. Lift one foot, lift the other foot. Upper body curls up and over. Eyes are looking toward the legs or down at the belly, not up at the ceiling. Lift the arms, palms facing down. You can keep your knees bent or extend the legs out away from you. Start pumping your arms. And we're breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. One more round, breathing in and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can pull your knees to your chest as your head comes down, and just have a nice stretch as you bring your knees in. If you want, you can have a little rock side to side, coming to center and bringing the feet back down. We're going to interlace our hands and bring them behind our head. So just let your head rest into your hands, let your elbows fall out to the sides. Keep your right knee bent, slide the left leg out on the mat. You could have the left toes pointed, making a nice long leg. Start with an inhale here, and as we exhale, we're doing an upper body curl. Our hands are just guiding the back of our head. We're looking down that extended leg. And then from here, you can just lift, slightly lift that left leg just to hover a bit above the mat. And then leg comes down and head comes down. And we'll keep going like this. We're curling upper body up at the same time, just slightly lifting that left leg and coming all the way back down. And keep going. Inhaling when you're down, exhaling to curl up. Remember, your hands are just lightly behind your head. We're not pulling on our head. We're using the abdominal strength for this move. And next time we curl up with that extended leg, let's pause here. We're going to bring the left knee, bend the left knee, bring it in towards your chest, and then a little twist to the left. And then come back to center. Extend the leg. Keep your upper body curled up. Knee comes in again, little twist to the left. Back to center, extend the leg. And keep going like this. Knee in, twist, center, extend. Knee in, twist, center, extend. And do 2 more. You got it. Working those oblique abdominals. Come to center, extend the leg, bring the leg down and head down. Nice. And you can bend that left knee. Just take a moment between sides, get a few deep breaths in, making sure we're getting lots of oxygen to these working muscles. And then we'll slide the right leg out. And we're starting with upper body curl as we lift the right extended leg, and then lower head, lower leg. And curl up, lift your leg, and lower and lower. And keep going. You can have nice pointed toes on the right side. Keep going. Next time we curl up, we're going to pause here, bring that right knee in towards the chest and twist to the right. Come to center, extend the leg, and right knee comes back in and twist. And center, extend. Knee, twist, center, extend. Keep going. Let's do 2 more. Last one here. Awesome work. Everything comes down and you can slide that foot in. And we'll bring our arms out to a T. So just bring your arms straight out at shoulder level, palms facing up. Let your arms be heavy for a restorative stretch across the chest, across the front of the shoulders. Scoop in the belly, lift one foot, lift the other foot. With bent knees, zip your legs together. You could again point your toes. So we're going to keep the legs together for this next one. We'll start by bringing both legs a little more over to the right, and then through center and a little more over to the left. So just slowly bringing the legs to one side and over to the other side. We're keeping our shoulders down and our scapula, our shoulder blades down on the mat. The next time both legs come over to the right, you can pause and then extend the legs. Bend the legs and come all the way over to the left. Extend and bend and slowly come over to the other side. Keep going like this. So a lot of work for the side of the torso. Again, those oblique muscles working for the movement and stabilizing. And we'll do 1 more to each side. Awesome work. Back to center, and then the feet can come down. Bring your knees in towards your chest, and you can have one hand on each knee. And we'll just pause here for a couple breaths. So in a moment, we're going to make our way up to seated, and I'm going to offer that you can bring your forehead towards your knee, rock lengthwise on your spine like a ball, and rock yourself up. Another option is just come over on your side and make your way to seated. So do what feels right for you. If you're making yourself into a little ball, I like to bring my hands under my knees, curl up, forehead toward the knees, rock lengthwise on the spine a couple times, and then rock yourself up to seated. And we're going to come all the way up into kneeling. So in kneeling position, just check into how that feels on your knees. You can always fold your mat over or add some extra cushioning like a folded up towel under your knees. And just start here by bringing the hips forward, lift the chest. Arms out to a T. Extend the right leg out to the side. Land on the sole of your foot, toes are pointing forward. From here, we're going to tip over and land on the left hand. So we have the whole sole of the foot on the mat here. And then bring this top arm overhead. So just reaching overhead, so your arms approximately coming alongside your ear. Nice big stretch for the side of the body. And then we're going to bend elbow and knee at the same time, lifting that extended leg, bend your elbow and knee so they come towards each other, and then extend away. And elbow towards knee and extend. And keep going, working side of the body. We'll do a couple more. And then pause in this extended position. So leave your leg as it is with the foot down. Reach your arm back up to the ceiling. We're going to bring that arm forward, and we're going to revolve the body forward as we scoop the arm underneath and then lift back up. And come forward to scoop and lift. Nice rotation through the torso, upper body. We'll do 2 more. Lifting back up to the ceiling, and then we'll lift ourselves all the way up, and we'll bring the knee down and bring the arms down. And you can shake out the arms, give your shoulders a roll. Other leg is going to come out to the side, so left leg out to the side, arms out to a T, tipping over, land on your right hand. Upper arm comes overhead, that big stretch, and then slowly bringing elbow to knee and extend. And elbow to knee and extend. Thinking about what's going on here at the side of the body, at the waist. A little crunch. Last one. And then reach that top arm to the ceiling. We'll go into that revolve forward. Arm comes forward, scoop under, and lift. And scoop. And lift. Inhale, exhale. Keep it going. One more each way. Lift yourself up, all the way up. Bring the knee down, bring the arms down. Again, you can shake everything out, roll the shoulders, and then we're going to come back down to seated, and we'll make our way onto our back. Reaching arms forward, you can roll yourself down. Arms alongside the body with palms down and tucking shoulder blades under. Feet are close to the body. We're preparing for our bridge position. So pushing into the feet to lift the hips. Pause at the top. Hips are lifted, level with each other, lifting the chest. Have a couple breaths here. Legs stay parallel to each other. And then very slowly coming down. Just give your back a massage on the way down. We'll lift up again into bridge. Pause at the top. Reach both arms to the ceiling. As one arm comes down alongside your body, the other arm is going to come overhead. And then we slowly switch our arms. And keep going, just moving your arms slowly in opposite directions. And we're keeping the hips lifted the whole time, keeping them level with each other. Of course, breathing. And a couple more moves. And then you can bring your arms all the way down alongside your body and lower the hips. Nice work. Let's walk our feet a little bit wider out towards the edges of the mat for a few windshield wiper knees. You could bring your arms back out to that T position, palms facing the ceiling, and then just let the knees sway side to side. And you can bring your knees back to center, walk your feet back to center. We're going to roll over onto one side and come up onto your forearm. We're going to come into a modified side plank. So bend your bottom knee. You're on that bottom forearm, top leg extended. And then lift the hips. Lift the top arm to the ceiling. We're going to do some more scooping under. So top arm comes forward and we scoop and we lift up. So we're keeping the hips lifted the whole time in this modified plank as we do this little rotation, scooping under. We'll go 3 more. Last one here, lifting up, and then stay on your forearm and let your hips come down. So we're staying propped up on our forearm. You can keep that bend in the bottom leg, and your top hand can just come down onto the mat. Top leg is going to hover. Extend it out in line with your body. Bring that top knee towards the chest, and then keeping your thigh pointing forward, extend the leg forward. Bend the knee, and then extend back out in line with the body to our starting position. Knee comes towards the chest, extend the leg out in front, bend your knee, extend in line with the body. And keep going like this, just bending and extending the leg. Leg comes forward, leg comes in line. And we'll do one more each way. And then you can lower your head down to and support your head with your lower arm. You can either have your elbow bent or you can be right down on your arm, whichever way is comfortable for you. Both legs extended and the legs are lined up with the body. Lift that top leg up to the ceiling and pause. And let's have our foot flexed and toes pointing forward. We're going to lower this top leg just halfway down and lift. So halfway down and lift and keep going. So a smaller move, working those glutes. Keep it going for 3, 2, 1. Nice work. And then bring that top knee towards your chest and lower the bent leg down onto your mat. And now it's out of the way. We're going to do a few lifts and lower of the bottom leg. So go ahead and lift and lower the bottom leg. Again, this one can be tricky when you're just new to this exercise, so just doing your best, coming back to it. For 3, 2, 1. And if your head's not already down on that bottom arm, just let your head rest down onto your bottom arm. We're going to do a dynamic stretch here. So as your top leg comes forward, take your top arm and reach behind you. So leg and arm in opposition, little pause, and then switch this. Leg comes behind, arm comes forward. And you can always let your fingertips and toes touch down, or you can just keep with this slow move, moving arm and leg in opposition, nice big stretch. Really good for the connective tissue, the muscles all along the side of the body. One more each way. Beautiful. And then we'll make our way to our other side. Starting in that side plank on our forearm, bottom knee bent, lift the hips, arm to the ceiling, and go ahead and scoop. We're scooping under and lifting up. Inhale to lift up, exhale to scoop. We'll go 3 more. Lift that arm and then stay on your forearm, hips come down. We'll keep the little bend in our bottom leg. Top hand can just come down to the mat. Hover your top leg, knee comes towards the chest, and then extend that leg out in front. Bend your knee, extend the leg in line with the body. Knee comes in, extend, bend, extend. Keep going. One more each way. Nice work. And then you can support your head with that lower arm. Legs in line with the body. With the foot flexed, top leg is gonna lift up towards the ceiling, and then we're lowering halfway and lift. Lower and lift. Keep going. So check your toes. Keep pointing them forward. So we're working the side of the hip. 3, 2, 1, let that leg come down. Bring the knee towards the chest. Bent leg comes down to your mat. Bottom leg lift and lower. Working the adductor thigh muscles. For 3, 2, 1. And then lower your head onto that bottom arm. Line your legs up. We're going into the dynamic stretch. As the leg comes forward, the arm reaches behind, and then reverse direction. And you can always pause a little bit longer if you get into a position that feels like a really great stretch for you today. Always checking in on how our bodies are feeling each time we work out. One more in each direction. Nice work. So make your way back to tabletop, hands and knees. And from here, we're going to go into a forearm plank, just working on strength and endurance. So come down onto forearms, either palms down or clasp your hands. Step your toes back. Bring your body into a line, into plank position, shoulders, hips, knees all lined up. You could always lower your knees as a modification. We're just going to stay here and breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hips come down. Untuck your toes. Nice work. We're going to bring our forehead down onto the mat. We're going to work do some back strengthening here. Arms are going to be bent, palms down. So you have bent elbows, palms down. From here, we're going to lift the forehead, lift the chest, and then lift the arms. Keeping the forehead and chest lifted, we'll do little pulses with our arms. So just a little lift and lower, thinking about upper back working in between the shoulder blades, where we need it. Keep lifting and lowering, breathing. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Keep your arms in this position. Have a couple breaths. Lift your head and chest, lift your arms. Reach your right arm overhead, and then bend the elbow back out to the side and lower down. Everything lifts. Left arm reach overhead, bend your elbow and lower. And just keep going like this. We're lifting up her body, reaching one arm, bringing it back to the side and lower. We'll do one more to each side. Nice work. Bring everything down, and you can stack your hands. Rest your forehead on your stacked hands. Tune into your breath. Expand your rib cage out to the back. Big breaths. And with the little scoop in your lower abdominals, core engaged, lift your extended right leg. Toes are pointed. And then little pulses here. We'll pulse it out, working the back of the leg, glutes, lower back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg, lift the other leg. Same thing, pulse it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg. Hands under your shoulders and lift yourself up off the mat. We're going to make our way back to seated. So if you would like to sit on a cushion, you can go ahead and grab your cushion to sit on. And we're going to come into our cool down now. So finding your comfortable seat. Big breaths. As we did at the start of class, start sitting cross-legged and then take your right leg out at an angle. Extend it out to the side. Right hand on your leg, left arm to the ceiling. We're going to follow our breath again. Inhaling to start and exhaling as we come over that leg, letting the fingertips slide down the leg, and then inhale to lift without worrying about what it looks like, just tuning into how it feels in your body, following your breaths. Next time you come into that side bend over your leg, we'll stay here for 2 full breaths. And then lifting up, bring your arm down, and we'll switch our legs. Getting into starting position, inhale here, and exhale, side bend. And lift, and side bend. And keep going. And then let's come over the leg and hold here 2 full breaths. And lifting up and coming back to your cross-legged position, easy pose, hands in your lap. Rolling the shoulders up and back and down, and we'll do that 2 more times. And then resting the shoulders back and down, tall spine, gently turn your head to one side and back to center to the other side. And center 1 more time each way. Coming to center. Let's put one hand on our belly and one hand on our chest. Coming back to our breath. Noticing with each inhale how your belly rises, your rib cage expands, your chest lifts, and then with your exhales, how everything softens. And just notice that for a few breaths as you continue to sit tall. We'll bring our fingertips down and we'll finish with 3 big breaths together with arm moves. Inhaling the arms up to the ceiling, exhaling the arms down. 2 more times. Full inhale, full exhale. I appreciate you being here and joining me for this workout. It helps me if you click subscribe to my channel so I can continue to make more videos and we can do more workouts together. Give this workout a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again for this workout or any of the other ones on my channel. Have a wonderful day.